It's been a while since I made a video for you guys, but I thought that this one would be one worth making because I think it's very important for those of you that are either building your first business or your second business or whatever. Maybe you're new, or you currently have a company right now. Most of your marketing activities are online. Okay, I'm going to try and make sure that I hold the camera right up so you can see me. It's a bit difficult whilst we're walking, but we're going to make it happen either way. So yeah, now the reason why I say that is because I know for a fact that over the next couple of years, and for sure over the next decade, the way people do business is actually going to go, it's going to revert back to how people used to do business back in the day, right, traditionally. All right, so the thing is, with the way that people buy and sell things now on the internet, everything is done online because, well, there was a big event in 2020, for those of you that don't know, maybe the younger generation, big event in 2020 that completely changed the world, right? And so this event forced everyone to go online. And previous to this event, you know, social media platforms like LinkedIn were just like non-existent, like no one was even really using it previous to this event. And then after this major global pandemic that we had, everything changed, and so everyone had to start like going online to make connections, to market themselves, to do business, essentially. And previous to this, what a lot of people did, especially in a B2B world, they would go to events and conferences and trade shows and trade fairs and things of that nature in order to put themselves in the right positions so that people can get to know them. And COVID completely changed this because obviously, you know, they shut down the world, basically. You couldn't go to any events or anything like that. The global trade show industry got completely shut down. $100 billion plus every year, this industry was. And it got completely shut down, more or less overnight, because of COVID. And so the way that I see things now is because everyone has just jumped onto this online bandwagon. It's made it extremely saturated. I'm sure that you feel this as well, because you're probably out there sending emails to people, DMing people on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. You're probably posting content and the algorithm's not helping you. It's just ultra saturated. That's why you're not getting the reach that you want. And it's the same reason why when you DM someone or email them that they don't get back to you. Right? Because they're getting bombarded with messages and emails every day, especially those big decision makers that you want to work with. They're getting hit up 24/7 because everyone who's old enough to send a message or an email and who's smart enough to automate it is doing so, right? A 15-year-old kid building a business from their bedroom can send thousands of emails a day to the target audience, to the people that you want to work with. And so because of that reason, the market has matured and a lot of people have been burnt by scammers and things like that. People bought courses, they've worked with agencies who couldn't get them results, all kinds of stuff. And this has been happening over the last few years. It's 2024 now, 2025. We're a few months into 2025. Right, so it's 5 years since that big event. So it doesn't take long for the market to mature. And so the situation that we're in now, if you're struggling to grow your business, if you're struggling to market yourself online, if you're currently operating in the B2B world, you know, the reason why you're struggling is because it's just so oversaturated, like massively oversaturated. And you have to understand that years ago, you weren't competing with everyone. You were just competing with people in your industry. Whereas now you're actually competing with everyone, because when you post a piece of content on LinkedIn, for example, you're competing in the newsfeed with everyone else who doesn't even compete in your industry. They're just trying to sell to the same decision makers as you, or a completely different set of decision makers, but because you have to compete for space in a newsfeed, it's made it far more difficult. And on top of that now, you've got automation, you've got AI, so people can send thousands of emails a day, they can create hundreds of pieces of content a day. If you've got enough money, you can have a full team doing it for you. And so it's pricing normal established companies out of business. It's pricing them out of the market. So if you're brand new, like, you have almost no chance, unless you go viral over a long period of time and consistently, you have almost no chance of actually getting business and winning those deals. And if you're an established company, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you've been around for a while, I'm sure you would have seen the change in the way that things are done over these years. But the good news is that how it used to be back in the day, the traditional way of doing business is going to be making a roaring comeback, because people are getting sick of AI. They're getting sick of all the automatic messages being sent to them on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. They're getting sick of bombarded. I mean, I'm not even a major decision maker at a large organization, and I get DMs all the time on LinkedIn and Instagram, people trying to sell me all kinds of stuff. And maybe what they're selling me is actually going to help me, who knows? But it's just a bombardment of stuff. So how do you separate yourself from everyone else? Well, you're going to get a lot of people online telling you you've got to make content, you've got to make videos like this to separate yourself. And I don't disagree. But when you're in the B2B space, you're selling like, I don't know, robotics, machinery. If you're in manufacturing, if you're in cybersecurity, if you're selling medical equipment, if you're in healthcare, these kind of things. If you're not a coach or not a consultant, like creating content of yourself speaking about the thing that you're selling is not always the best idea, in my opinion. Yeah, you should do it. You should build a personal brand, but it's not going to be the differentiator, because you're hoping that people are going to be looking for your content all the time, the people that you're selling to, and they're simply not, right? They only look for that stuff when they're in the buying mood. So the alternative, the way that I see things happening over the next couple of years, it's happening now, to be perfectly honest with you. The trade show industry, $140 billion, or $160 billion is expected to come into the industry this year, right? Last year was 140, I believe, or 130. So it's going up because people couldn't do it. Like for the last few years, they had to do like online events and conferences and webinars and all that nonsense. Like I've never sat through a webinar. Who wants to sit through a virtual meeting? You know, like it just all this online stuff. We're losing the face-to-face fun. We're losing the fun of doing business. We're losing it. You know, when I used to work in sales and business development before COVID, I was just basically given the company credit card and I was told to take people out for dinner. So I was just inviting people to like VIP events and doing speaking at these events, doing lunch and learns, dinner and learns. We're getting drunk, having coffees, going to the bars, going to the clubs, going on holiday, going to festivals. I remember I helped land a deal with this Indonesian company, and the reason I did that is because I met the son of the guy that runs the company. So the company is run by a billionaire. I met his son at an event in Indonesia, and from there I managed to help land a $5 million deal. These things are lost in today's day and age. Everyone's just online now, posting content, doing stuff online, just building businesses from their bedroom, and that's awesome that we can do that these days. But at some point, people are going to get sick of it, and I believe they already are. I certainly am. I'm definitely sick of just being in my office or my house all day long and just speaking to people online and sending messages and sending voice notes and even just making videos where you actually don't get that relationship built with someone. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, this is where the world is going, in my opinion. But if you're the type of organization that can go and do a trade show or a conference or an event, I would recommend that you go and do that 100%, because it gets your name out there. You actually go and speak to people, you're face to face with other business owners, especially if you're at the right event. And that's where deals are made. If you want to land 6-figure deals, 7-figure deals, going to these kind of events is going to get you there far quicker than posting content online all the time or sending thousands of emails a day, sending thousands of DMs. Yeah, you should have all that infrastructure built out already, but once that's done and that's automated, what else are you doing? Events, conferences, trade shows, it's the next level up, especially if you want to establish it yourself as, you know, the top person or the top company in your industry, especially if you want to take away all the other competitors that are competing for attention of your decision makers that you're going after in the news feed. If you want to take all of that away and just focus on your industry and what you're selling and be in the same place as people who you want to sell to, trade shows and conferences is the one. Right? It's only going to get worse with AI. People are going to start creating videos just like this one where it's an AI. We can do that at my company. We can actually deepfake our clients and put them in videos. And we do that because sometimes it's just easier to create sales videos that way, but you don't want to be listening to someone, you know, you don't want to be a fan of someone on YouTube who's literally just an AI, right? It's already happening. Look on Instagram and like OnlyFans as well, going off topic a little bit here, but like even saying as OnlyFans, like people actually pay for an AI girlfriend. It's crazy. This is like kind of the norm, but it's not. Let's be honest. It's not going to be the norm. People like face-to-face stuff. This is what humans are. We're face-to-face type, relationship building type creatures. There's only so much that we can take online. So yeah, I just wanted to make this quick one of 10 minutes. I've been standing outside the office for like the last few minutes. Hopefully this makes sense. If you believe that maybe I'm wrong or you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments, because look, I truly feel that the world is, look, when everyone goes one way, is fully online, that's when you've got to start looking the other way and start doing things offline. That's why things like direct mail work really well as well. We've been doing that in the lead up to trade shows and events for some of our clients, and we've used them to invite these high-level decision makers to VIP events before trade shows or during trade shows, or just after, like around those trade show weeks. And we've had a lot of success because it's different, and it shows that you're not just like a scammer on the internet or some 15-year-old kid on the internet that's trying to sell you something. Right? Another thing you can do as well is like write a book. It also separates you from everyone else. So it's kind of online, offline type method, but you can actually buy and hold in your hand a physical book that shows that you're an authority. So that's also another thing we seem to work really well, and we can combine that with events, trade shows, direct mail, and things like that. So yeah, if you've got a different opinion, if you disagree with me, or if you agree, let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Do you think the world's headed to more offline type marketing strategies and methods, or do you think we're actually going to get worse? Let me know.